Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's live stream. We'll just check our levels here. All right, everything looks good. So, as per usual, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll do my best to get to them as we go on. I shared a couple trades in the Discord last night. Man, I literally, and I'll show you guys what I was looking at, and I'm looking back on hindsight, and I know better than this. Um, I bought. Let's see. This was. Yeah, down here. I bought and sold the Pico bottom of this move, and it's okay. Really, like I saw this buying power come in right here at the very bottom, so we had clear demand, right? And then I saw this really incredibly large sell here, and I thought that it would have some follow through. So if you go ahead and look at this volume candle, you can see it's literally it's the largest 15-minute candle that we've had in a very, 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 very long time. So there's a lot of selling volume that was going on in this 15-minute candle, and I thought that there would be more follow through, and instead there wasn't. So whoever did sold there basically sold the bottom, and then there was continuation to the upside. If they were shorting here, then of course that was used as added fuel for this rally to the upside, as well as Link. Link totally went far and beyond my expectations of what it would do. I really saw this super nice setup here for it to sort of have had this move up to the top here like this, and we were currently sitting down here below the weekly, and I figured we'd get some kind of a move and then continuation down, and instead it decided to rally and actually for the very first time break up above this upwards trend. So yeah, very, very, very interesting price action on this one. Something we'll definitely look at later this week. So we're gonna start out looking at our higher time frame charts on BTC as per usual. Let's go ahead and zoom out here. Let's see. We'll go ahead and zoom out. So again, we look at this every single week, and everything's just playing out so well. Of course we rejected at the very top of our resistance zone, or our channel, I should say, right? Sort of this channel I'm expecting to trade in, and we bounced right from the very bottom of it, and we're simply sort of ranging. And this darker red, or this brighter red spot is sort of the hot spot here, and we can see that we're currently rejecting from that zone, similar to over here. We really haven't gotten much of a close above that level, right? So this is playing out really, really, really well. I wouldn't be surprised if we did get kind of a move down and then maybe come back up like this, and then further down here, and then sort of fade away over time. But nonetheless, again, weeks and months further, I'm expecting for us to spend inside this red box. Okay, so far so good. The plan is going according to plan. Everything is going according to plan with that one. Let's go ahead and actually dive in. I'm really, 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 really excited for this week, because I just think that we're going to get some interesting price action here. So we'll go ahead and get some of the stuff off the charts, and we're actually going to dive right into our weekly analysis. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah, that's the short. Just doing a little cleaning up here. Okay. Let's see here. First things first, we are in a new month, so let's go ahead and update our previous month levels. And we have the monthly open. Okay. I actually just want to go down to a lower time frame. Let's see. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's take a look at the previous week. Not a very volatile week, this last one. Not too crazy. And then the weekly open here, previous week high, low. I really like this rejection. Could you imagine that we front run the previous week high, front run it after a sweep of these highs, for then a move down to target the previous week low? Wow, that would be a really nice move. Okay. So that looks good. We're gonna take a look at Monday's range. So far, it's a decent Monday range. I'm gonna do a couple different things. I'm actually going to hold on to last week's Monday high and low because I think they're interesting. I think it's an interesting level here and here. And obviously, you know, of course, just looking at this, you can see the respect from last week's Monday high and low. I mean, they're just really highly respected levels on the chart that I absolutely believe are going to come into play. And in fact, last week's Monday low is also the previous week low. So definitely something I want to keep an eye on. And as for today's, it is still developing, right? So we're not 100% that this is what it is just yet. But this is kind of what we're looking at so far. So I think that looks great. Okay, cool. Did we have a new weekly? No new weekly. There's technically one here at 41,539. I'm not really crazy about that one. Let's go ahead and wow, look at how volumes really just died off here. Yeah. Um, okay. The daily chart. Hmm. Actually a potentially nice daily here. It's actually not a bad daily level to be watching for. All right, let's get all of our levels up here and just start taking a look at what we like. Previous week low. Monthly open, the weekly open, of course, are the same level. Previous week high. Previous month high, not relevant in my opinion. Previous week low. Hmm. It's our primary sideways channel. Primary upwards channel. Interesting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is the. So this trend line is the one that I'm quite interested in. In fact, this is sort of our higher time frame trend line that we've been following for some time. I do believe that price will meet with this trend line at some time. I was sort of looking at 37K by the third week of February, so somewhere in here perhaps. Um, feel like there's some levels here that yeah, this is them right here. This is no longer the yeah. Let's see if do I have a rectangle for this? Oh my God, did I honestly draw this out? Oh my God, I'm terrible. I'm such a terrible person. Look at how well this has been playing out. That is hilarious. God, I'm unbelievable. Look at this. It's following it to a T. The time frame that I draw this on, probably 6 hour. Wow. How about that? So what's next then? Yeah, 37. Supposedly, right? Get rid of that. I don't really think we need this anymore. I'd also say we don't need that. This is still in play. Yeah, so we have these NPOCs down here that are of interest. I kind of want to clean this up though. There's also a daily down here somewhere. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's right on top. Okay. Go ahead and go through settings here. Okay. And I'm going to hide just to clean this up a little bit here. And this is a MPOC. No, it's a WMPOC plus MPOC plus daily. All right. Let's take a look. Hmm. This shift. So okay, so we're just gonna walk. I'm just gonna walk you guys through what's going on in my head here. Um, here's what I'm seeing and what's kind of on my mind as I look at this. My initial instinct is that this is probably This could actually be the weekly high. Okay, this I would say that this right here has potential to be this week's high. We came up, we swept these ones here. We do have kind of this local trend line here. I want to go ahead and extend that. And, really kind of what I'm looking for here is to go level by level. I'm actually just going to get rid of, I'm going to get rid of the monthly open. Although I think it's important, I don't think that it's extremely relevant at this point. Ultimately, what I want to see is this price to gain acceptance back below this trend line here for this to have been a deviation play up here. By the way, there was Jerome Powell was on 60 Minutes and he went and said that the Fed is going to cut rates later in the year. And so, I think that this is the market sort of reacting to that. We're getting this like initial move up, but really for me, in my opinion, it's a liquidity grab. And I think that this would be a really nice and very frustrating spot for bears, especially to, front run the previous week high, which is sitting a little bit, which is sitting up here, right? Front run the previous week high, and then, actually end up having this end up being a deviation where we then see sort of immediate continuation down towards the previous week low. Maybe do some kind of a sweep there and come back up, but then ultimately, find its way down to about this 40,300 level. For me right now, I mean, this is the short position that I'm in, and I've been in this for a really long time, actually. Well, since last Tuesday, I've been in this position for. And, I've taken profits down in here. I've re-entered in here. I took some more profits in here, and I re-entered in here today. And I'm basically sort of just trading this like local range, right? Which is fine. But my anticipation of this range, I'll put it to you this way. I'm not longing the bottom. I'm really only shorting the top because I'm expecting it to, break down at the very least towards the previous week low, and potentially down towards this zone here. Maybe even further, right? Maybe even a little bit further, which would be, phenomenal. So that's, really that's kind of what I'm looking for price action this week. I guess if we're going to have an actionable trading plan, where would I feel comfortable? Where would I feel comfortable opening up, like, let's say, a long position? And I think that for now, we can go ahead and hide these levels here. And although they're very important, I'm not going to hold my breath in saying that, they're going to dump there this week. So for this week, where am I interested in taking a trade? Well, I already shorted up here again. I added to my short, and I'm still short. I would say yeah, I think that, for me, this would be the most comfortable place for me to open up a long, would be about 40,300. This is where I'd be most comfortable in opening up a new position. We have this untapped daily here, 618, 786, as well as the bottom of the range. We can see that this area is very well respected in terms of being an important level. Support, breakdown, deviation, right, of the level. You can see how clearly break to the upside, and then, of course, now price is sort of trading here. So I think that this would be a really, really nice zone to look for a long, however we'd place our stops or whatever, we can kind of get to that. But I think that this would be a really nice way to, a really nice place to start with that. And what we'd want to see again is for, price to sort of move downwards on this. Let's actually have a little bit of, let's have a little bit of fun with this. And again, is it possible that the price simply, really just breaks down? Absolutely. It is entirely sort of like this red path that I'd drawn out, wherever, this red path to go down to 37 here. That's entirely possible. Entirely possible, yes. So I'm not going to set any limits. I'm definitely going to look for some kind of a setup. But, I think that BTC is kind of in a place where it's just going to do a a hell of a lot of ranging that really sort of deters people and confuses people for a long time. Like, this price action's been like brutal because it's not really doing anything, right? There's nothing new that happened or exciting that's happening. So yeah, down here would sort of be my interesting spot. It would be really cool to see maybe something like this where it drops straight through, bounces, and then maybe we range again. Excuse me. Maybe let's see if we do Monday, sit down, sort of to the zone, range for a period of time, then get sort of this move down here into next week, for then a break to the upside, going back up to here. So just doing something kind of like that, I wouldn't be surprised. It would be really boring to see this happen. I mean, like, I would take no joy in watching this price action unfold that way, but I could definitely see something like this where, this is the weekly high for now. I'm going to go ahead and hide this. This is the weekly high that we just put in. We get this move to the downside. We put in a weekly low around 41,300. Price ranges over the weekend. We break down a little bit more towards this, 40K targets. Price puts in a weekly low here. And then we get an expansion candle to the upside here. And this would be a really aggressive move after a sort of a slow bleed. And then from there, some kind of a move back down. Either that or price simply does not bounce here and, we continue slightly lower. But from here, I'm not really expecting like a move to the upside. Let's just talk about that scenario. If we did get that move just straight up to the upside here, if we did just get a move to the upside here, I would definitely be... Well, I have my stops above the previous week high, so I would get stopped out, and I would look to short probably around here. I would essentially, I'd be shorting my stop, and I would be comfortable doing that because it would be a pretty clear setup for me to do something like that. I just don't think that price is going to hammer out this high. I genuinely don't think that that's on the table right now anyway, for now. So I am comfortable shorting, any pumps if I were to get stopped out on the one I'm currently in. But right now, I don't think that that's going to happen. And in fact, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the liquidity data. See what we got here. Virtually neutral. a lot of longing going on. Mm. $42,475 locally. 41,800 on the 7-day. So yeah, for 41,800 on the 7-day, I'm not really surprised to see that. And you know, where is that level? Is the previous week low, right? 41,800. That's the previous week low. That's where a huge chunk of liquidity is. Not at all surprised to see something like that. I wouldn't be surprised if, there's a couple different scenarios that we could sort of watch for to see if they'd play out. I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of this. We don't necessarily need this here. One would be a deviation here or a move here. Looking at something like this, potentially. Or otherwise, I mean, I don't think that this would happen, but we'll just go ahead and draw it out. To play safe, right? We got to watch all scenarios. I really don't believe that we're gonna get this, but it's entirely possible. So yeah, I think that something like this would be, appropriate to keep an eye on as a handful of scenarios here. We can go ahead and hide this here. Last week's Monday high, previous week high. I think we can actually we'll go ahead and get rid of this. We know where it is. I think that most simply put, I'm gonna go ahead and add this alert here. Going to say BTC untapped daily tapped. Watch for range trade long. We'll edit this one. And I want to say take profits on BTC shorts plus consider long setup on deviation of previous week low. And then we're going to say watch for short opportunity on deviation of previous week high. Range high tapped, consider short. Yeah, so I think that these are all sort of the alerts that I'd be looking for, and these are the setups that I'm going to be looking for going into the week. Personally, I'm personally more bearish, leaning towards a move down at the very least to 41,800. That said, we have an idea of what I'd look for if we did get a move to the upside. And like my first instinct would be to look at this and say, oh yeah, we're definitely going to sweep the highs. Let's continue to do that. But we see often so many times where BTC does it has all these highs here and it looks like it should sweep them. It does like this half-ass sweep and then it continues down and saves it all for later. and then eventually comes back and cleans house. So, you know, I think that for me, this is a really, really nice plan. Let's see if, you know, I think that this is a really good example over here. Like both of these, where, you know, you have this move here, you come up, and then you think it could come up again, and it just dumps on you. Or even, I think this one's even better, right? So you have sort of all these highs here that could be taken. We get this half-assed, you know, attempt at the highs, and then it simply has continuation down. And then we clean house. That's kind of what I'm looking at here, where we have sort of this move down, this half-assed liquidity run, and then we sort of keep bleeding downwards, you know, either towards here or here, and then price will literally, it'll just clean, you know, we'll get a massive just straight move to the upside, right? That's more or less, that's kind of what I would be looking for something like that to happen, right? Um, So I think we'll go ahead and call it on looking at BTC. We have our setups for the week. Like I said, I added more to my short. I think this is looking really, really good here. There's a couple other. I just wanted to look at this chart too, because this is a really interesting channel that we followed for quite some time back in here. And price sort of meets with this channel again, you know, around that 40,000 range lows, basically right around that 40,000 level that we had been just talking about. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we, you know, looking at this chart, doing something like this. And then it sort of comes into fruition like this trend line, right? Suppose if we were to draw it out like that, it would probably be, you know, more like, it's a little aggressive. Oh, this is a daily candle, yeah. I don't know if it would be this aggressive, where we'd see something like this. Yeah, well, you know, we'll have to see. I think for me, the key thing I'm looking for is, you know, what are going to be the reactions here, and then especially here later on. I think that this is going to play a huge role. I'm so insanely confident that we are going to come right back into this range and trade off the bottom of it again. I'm so incredibly confident of that. Let's go ahead and take a look at, oh shit, do we want to do Sol? We can do Sol first. And then we're going to go over to gold. I fucking love trading gold. We're going to be trading a lot of gold moving forward. A lot of gold. All right. So we'll go ahead and update all of our levels on Solana. Taking a look, previous month levels here. We had a huge monthly candle in, what was that, January. So we'll go ahead and set these up here. All right, let's zoom in. I just want to see what these look like on the chart currently. Yeah, that previous month high is going to get taken. Just telling you right now. Previous month high is going to get taken. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Let's take a look at the previous week. Let's see here. Previous week low. We might be able to get a good previous week low setup here. Do we have a new monthly level? Oh, damn. We already tapped the new monthly level. Oh. Weekly. Kind of have a weekly here, but that's not really a weekly eye up. Daily. Yeah, there's a nice untapped daily here. Nice OB. We also have a nice OB here. Yeah, still really like that zone. Okay. Yeah, so there's a couple different setups I'm gonna be looking for on Solana this week. The two primary. So I'm not really interested in shorting Solana, generally speaking. I'm gonna be looking for a sweep or deviation of the previous week low. I'm interested in, or otherwise coming down and tapping this range low and untapped daily level for a bounce. These are my two levels of interest. Which is more likely? Which would be more likely? Right now, looking at the charts, I would say it's more likely to not bounce off previous week low, but to have continuation down to this level here or a bounce because it's the 618, there's an untapped daily, and it's the bottom of the range. We had a deviation here. Deviation, reclaim, back test, you know, and then a move back to the upside, right? Towards the previous month high. This slightly goes against my analysis for BTC, which is okay. Sol does not have to trade basically 1-to-1 with BTC. It can kind of go off and do its own thing. That said, we just have to be aware if BTC does decide to, you know, really have some, you know, a 6% move down here, and then Solana decides to tank on the BTC pair too, which it doesn't have to, but if it did, you know, we could be looking at a potential 12% move down on Solana, which, you know, would bring us I guess around to the bottom of the range here, but slightly lower, even going as far as to backtest this trend line likely. Okay. So that's something to bear in mind, but I would say that these two zones right now are, you know, pretty important. So I would say, Sol crossing previous week low, watch for a sweep too long. We're going to go ahead and drop this down here. Okay. I'm going to remove this here. I'm going to add, yep, look to long. Okay, so that's good. We have that alert set there. And I think that just having those two alerts is plenty for me. I actually might even set one on this trend. Well, no, I'm not going to do that. So for me, I think that this is really what I would be looking for overall. I want to remain bullish on Solana right now. And let's actually go ahead and take a look at the liquidity data and see if it supports our thesis. Let's go down here to Solana. Wow. Still a lot of negative delta built up into Solana. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Yeah, you know, in that case, if we're already half a billion down on, you know, if we have half a billion in negative delta built up into the to this price action here, we actually could just see it come down to this zone, this 91, 92 zone here instead of all the way down. We absolutely could see it be a more shallow retracement. Looking at that data now, I'm starting to think that, yeah, the more shallow retracement could be the more likely of the two. And then, you know, now looking at the 7-day, you know, 102, very attractive spot for liquidity here. Yeah, I mean, really all the liquidity is up higher. 107, 108. Yeah, 107, 108. Let's go to the 3-month, see what that looks like here. Yeah, 109. Yeah, 107, 108, 109, kind of around there. Really, really, really big hot spot. Let's look locally on the 12-hour to see where we might see a local retracement, if anything. 93, so around 90, yeah, 94, 93. Back to the 7-day here. 94, 93, 92, 77. So, you know, where are the big spots of liquidity? And I think that, you know, this all lines up pretty well with our analysis is that really the big areas for liquidity right now are here. And there is a little bit, what was it, 92.75. So just right below the previous week low. So actually, you know, in fact, I do think that for me to sort of hedge some of my positions here, Let's look at a daily real quick. 90. Wow, it's quite a bit lower. Yeah, 91. Yeah, I think that you know, in order to hedge some of my shorts with a stronger asset, I would definitely look to uh, maybe do something kind of like this, where you know I would look to long in here. My stops below the range low and target 108. You know, I would be looking to do something like this. And um I do want to see a local setup though, right? I do want to see a deviation and a reclaim. I do want to see a sweep. I do want to see something that tells me that I want to see increased buying volume. I want to see, you know, bullish signs here, bullish divergences, etc. I don't want to just blindly sort of hop into a position here because it, like I said, it is possible that we do have a lower move down. But I think that, you know, getting some kind of a, you know, I think that looking for a position here is very appropriate, and I like the idea of doing something like that. We'll go ahead and clean some of the stuff up here that we don't necessarily need. So yeah, this would sort of be my positioning, looking for a long position. Again, if we get something lower, we can look for that too. So I think that that's it for Solana. I just want to take a look again at BTC. Wow, this is going exceptionally well. Cool. My new favorite asset to trade, baby. We're gonna take a look at gold today. I'm absolutely loving trading gold. It's how well it respects the levels is insane to me. So it's been a really good asset to trade. Let's go ahead and update all of our levels. Hmm. Hmm. Let's see here. All right, so we're gonna take a look at. I do want to. I'm gonna do some cleaning up here first. Go to a lower time frame chart. Yeah, broke down from that. Yeah, we're getting the bigger move down that I was sort of expecting. Oh, I'm so excited to trade gold this week. I've never been more excited for anything else. Oh, fucking hell, look at that. Doing a little bit of cleaning up here. Ah, yes, this is the fair value gap. This is a much larger OB. Don't really. Where's our local OB? Oh, I must have accidentally deleted it. It's okay. Um. All right, let's take a look here. Oh, not really any new monthly level. We'll update our previous month. Previous month high, previous month low and the monthly open. Just take a peek at a lower time frame to see where we are. Oh man. Oh, the setups are just so there. Man, they're just really looking good. Let's look at the previous week. Previous week low. Previous week high. Weekly open. Wow, we're already below the previous week low. Oh man, this could be a really nice setup already. I'm gonna hide the previous week high here. We know where that is. Weekly open is at our key sort of resistance box that we've been watching for some time now. So I don't necessarily need that on the chart. Oops. Show me the previous month again. Previous month low. Yeah, it is around that sort of 2000 level, isn't it? Let's get this extended. Oh, goddamn. Well, I might have to long gold. So, all right, here's a couple things that I'm looking at. I just want to like point out to you guys sort of my thought process with this. Let's actually pull the volume back up. So here's what I'm looking at right now on gold. My very first reaction is this. All right. So we are. I am gonna get rid of the volume. So we're sitting at the value area low of this range that we've been trading in. Okay. So this area has been support for quite a few times, right? We can see it was support here, 2, 3, 4, deviation, 5, and now again here we're at that level, right? Not only that, but we're back testing this downwards trend line that we had broken out of last week, and we also have the previous week low, which we've already taken out. And you guys know how much I love deviation of previous week low setups. So for me, really, I would love to see price sort of get this move down to this zone here, ideally. That said, I think that there's really an opportunity here for some kind of a sweep or a long trade. We had a pretty aggressive move to the downside. And we could maybe do something kind of like, let's sort of zoom in and actually really look at this. Really look at this here. There's a lot of selling volume, but it's not pushing price too much. It would probably be best to wait for a price to develop and definitely for Monday's range. I wouldn't be surprised if price lingered here for a time, but I think that said, it may be worth taking some kind of a cheeky long, you know, at least targeting back into here, which was the, you know, like the monthly open, weekly open zone. I think that this is a very fair setup. So we'll go ahead and watch this. I'll continue to update you guys. I think that there really is an opportunity here on gold. So I'm gonna ladder into a position here slightly and sort of let price unfold for a period of time and see if we can't do something a little bit better even. So I think that that's a good place to call it. We're seeing a really nice move down on BTC as we had talked about. Everything's looking really good according to our trading plans. So as always, guys, thank you for joining me. If I didn't get a chance to answer some of your questions, feel free to ask in the Discord. And let's have a great trading week. We'll see you around.